Well, greetings and hello. Welcome to video 64. This here is the ancient spirit Tralaka speaking here in spirit. Now, video 64. The mothership's head pilot left his chair and got up to walk around the bridge command deck. He called back to the co-pilot robotic being, "Hey, you coming, or are you going to keep staring at the controls to decide of those colored spheres?" What? Was that an attempt in humor? The co-pilot mentioned as getting up from his chair and a double check of the controls. He noticed the two navigators, robotic beings, busily at work interlinked with the mothership saucer computer as he passed them on his way towards the pilot. The pilot responds back, "Ha! I hope not, otherwise someday it'll be me who is a passenger on the mothership saucer. I was created to be the pilot." The co-pilot replies as he met up with the pilot as they left the bridge control deck together down a blue-lit passageway to the elevator up ahead to their right. Stepping into it, the pilot said, "Main deck observation walk." The cream-colored doors whisked shut, quickly going down to that level and stopping as the door opened simultaneously. The two stepped out and walked that long walkway, which was just 5 feet wide with a 9-foot ceiling. It ran the full length of the mothership saucer. It was a long walk, held in place by above off to each side cables to the ceiling above on each deck. A mere 3 feet above to each side of those long walkways below, they could look at the floor rows of the now passengers, as the Puritan Atlantians were technically now, to be able to make sure that all the seats in each row on the top of the tall backs of the chairs, the little center light was a steady green. The left side light was at this time supposed to be pink, and it was, acknowledging that that being in the seat was now receiving through the secondary 3 needles into the arm with the hand on the green pad nutrients of a very high quality and some stimulant. A while later, as they were now on the lowest deck of the passenger rows, long narrow walkway, the backs of the tall chairs, the pink lights now went out, and on the right side of the center green light, a blue light turned on. The pilot and co-pilot stopped as the pilot spoke into the whole mothership saucer intercom. "Everyone, please remember the seat you are in, the number which is on the back of the front of your seat. All seats are now biometrically locked to only work for that being that was seated there before from the beginning of the flight. We are now going to be between hyperspace jumps for a little while, so please walk around and stretch. Look through the upper observation deck. Meet up with old friends. Go look out the front and side bay windows on the observation deck. Run on the jogging walkway that goes around the outside of the cargo area on the bottom deck." With this being said, the pilot released a button on the wall for the speaker system. The co-pilot speaks. "Huh. 2 more jumps to the rim of the Pleiadian system's outer edges. Tens of thousands of years in mid-shutdown on planet Earth within the mothership saucer, making sure that all is working and repairing itself and still, knowing the way back home." The pilot replies. "Sounds very close to pride. Careful, you may be getting human character." "True," the co-pilot replies. "Though by humanoid standards, by now I would have gray hair or be bald." "No," the robotic pilot replies, being pilot replies as they both walked back to the bridge control center, by this time using the correct math of human old life and character. You would only be dust of the ashes of the humanoid turned when they expired. Oh, the co-pilot replies as they arrived on the bridge. This is a very dismal aspect to look forward for a humanoid life. Sure would suck to be them. Yes, the pilot replied as he sat back down in his pilot seat. This is exactly why I make sure that all aspects of my robotic being programs and life and my form remains continually the same. Exactly, the co-pilot replies, and he sits down in his co-pilot chair, checking the area controls around him and making some adjustment. The pilot speaks into the whole mothership saucer speaker system. In 60 minutes, please be back to your specific seat you were seated at when we first left Earth, and the same arm and hand in the same locations than before to be ready for the next great hyperspace jump. Be cheerful, Atlantian. After that, only two small jumps, and we are within the Pleiadium system's outer rim. From there, the pilot and co-pilot will be connected, in theory, with connections to where we will be landing or going. The pilot ends the message, then turns his chair to the left behind him. Against the wall, the navigator robotic beings were still correctly plugged into the main computer, then turns back to face the pilot's control area, then turns to face the co-pilot. Why? Why haven't we received the very long awaited updates to destination from someone in the Pleiadian system? We haven't been updated since we left tens and tens of thousands of years ago, the robotic pilot mentioned as the co-pilot looked up from the controls and turned to face the pilot. The navigator's link with the main ship computer will figure out all the variables for the moons, the planets, the suns, where they were and where they should be right now along the way, and also be able to go around any cross traffic that it senses along the way. However, the co-pilot being continued, but the growth or interactions within the prime Pleiadian system or the multitudes of species that inhabit the areas and connecting systems, we will not know until we come out of the last jump. The pilot replies as he turns back towards navigation. His pilot's chairs. For a whole couple of minutes, he looked at the navigators quietly, working plugged into the main computer. Then the pilot turns around quickly, his chair back around to face the co-pilot. The pilot says. Does the main computer and navigators compensate for outer growth of the Pleiadian system or even extensive orbiting systems they could have in locations we don't know? No, the co-pilot replies. This is not of a value. The navigators of the main computers cannot compensate for these objects because they are not of a celestial orbiting planet, moon, or sun, which can be compensated for millions of years. Unless there is a big enough intrusion of an outside renegade planet or moon, which could cause a chance in the orbits of a very exotic magnetic storm waves. Though at the time we left the Pleiades way back, they were not a problem. Really? The pilot replies, still looking at the co-pilot. So we have now two big variables that cannot be equated. While we are operating a long mothership saucer full of passengers and with the full lower deck of cargo that is still set at the time in its last hyperjump to come out at the location it came outwards from when it left the Pleiades tens of thousands of years ago. Oh, yeah, the co-pilot replies as he adjusted a few glowing spheres on the right side of his controls, then adding as he turns back to face the pilot. The humanoids of long ago would have called this a shot in the dark. The robotic pilot replies. It would also be that same reason that their ships came out of hyperdrive wrong and slammed full speed into moons and planets and melted into suns. This is the prime reason you and me, robotic beings, are the pilot and co-pilot, because we increase the safe journey and the safe traveling to and from destinations. This here is the ancient spirit, Tralaka. As always, journey far, journey safely, experience new things, broaden your mind, remember the ancient knowledge, and have it grow and expand your reality. Good night.